get into it. We can get into it. Body fluids on the floor, get into it like a hood. We can get into it. We can get into it. Body fluids on the floor, get into it like a hood. What's the motion? Swing a right finger with a left, going straight. Take the heart out his chest. Nut buck in the club. Homegirls lose the heel saying, fuck my new curls and fuck them bum bitches. They talk like they hands on Mike Tyson. It's killed to be killed when I'm fighting. My sisters not watching, they jumping like double dutch. They like transition cause violence is given. Soft bitches is tripping.
Your pussy. Hey, bring the camera, son. Bring the camera. All the young girls who want to make life with pussy, your pussy will perish with you in hell. May your pussy perish with you. May your smooth pussy, creamier pussy, and tight pussy perish with you.
I didn't know that Kim Kardashian thing.
She did, bitch.
No, did any?
You just forgot because there's been a lot of people since me.
Man!
Coming to you live, it's your boys, Benda and Kels. Dudes Brewing, baby, that's how we do. We're here together today for you guys. We got a new episode coming through. It's juicy, it's fun, it's bad. That's how we do. And again, thank you, every single one of you. Seriously, it means the world to both of us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for all of your energy. No, honestly, thank you guys for everything, for the love that you guys give us to tune in here every week, We're a small, humble channel. We're so grateful for every one of you. We honestly are. We're just trying to give some good value and tenacity and keep going and plowing through it.
Plowing through it.
We all know about plowing, don't we?
Need help.
What kind of help?
I need somebody to help me beat my meat.
So today,
that's right.
Besides plowing,
yes.
What are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. Besides plowing, today we got a new episode for you. Today we're going to talk about Kim Kardashian and her mom, Kris Jenner. They were both recently in the news because of Ray J.
Yes. The big Ray J, you might know him as a rapper.
Shawty got lips, shawty got hips in the club. Shawty make a nigga wanna give tips.
Ray Jizzle?
I don't
we don't know about that. We just made that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know, Ray Jizzle, that's a...
Y'all give it up for Ray J.
You're the same person in the rain screaming, can you have one wish?
Wish we be best friends.
I don't know what else he does besides rapping, but
I don't want the Ray Jizzle.
But yeah, if you know Ray J, obviously everyone knows Kim. Ray J is a rapper, American rapper, and if you've heard the song "Sexy Can I Just Park My Manners?"
Sexy can I just pardon my manners? Girl, how you shake it got a nigga like it's a cold at home. Let me go and get my camera. All I wanna know is, hey, what up, little mama? It's your boy Young.
He'll play it right now.
That's right.
That's Ray J right there, and he was in a sexual tape with Kim Kardashian a while ago, which has now surfaced that it was actually Kim's mom that put it out.
She orchestrated this tape. Apparently, Ray J got into a really defensive position. He wanted to discuss and clear his name. Because long story short, recently there was appearance of Kris Jenner on the James Corden show, and they did a lie detector test.
Can I just say one more thing about the lie detector guy? I've been hooked up to him. Like, check out like me on his videos. Like, I've been hooked up to him, and he literally will say like, "Oh, I can give you whatever answer you want." He's not like real.
People just assume that he's trustworthy or something.
Which was, and the question was asked regarding about Kim K's sex tape, and obviously the lie detector test showed her mom to be very angelic and truthful. And then there was information that later came out about this exact lie detector stenographer guy, specialist. That
specialist.
He actually had a history of doing false tests, like where he got barred, and I think it was the state of Colorado, California. It'll be here. Watch this clip, okay? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's supposed to be a pro, and I was like, ooh. It's no offense, it's a talk show, and you're gonna bring out an actual professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you really believe that?
Like we actually believe there's actual like talk show professional like people that sometimes come on these talk shows. They're kind of incentivized. It's selling a business at the end of the day. So.
It's entertainment at the end of the day. So of course they're not gonna bring out someone who's actually worked with like maybe the FBI or something to find out if Kris Jenner is lying or not, you know. Exactly. Like they couldn't care if she was lying.
Yeah, Dr. Oz.
In fact, she probably said at the start, make sure that it comes out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or else I won't be on your show. You can't air that.
Yeah. Sometimes they make these like questions and things like a benchmark. They prep them up. Yeah. They do pretty much what's called a like. It's like industry
an industry standard kind of.
Yeah. It's like they're press prepped on what questions they can ask and what they can't ask from their publicists.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. Calvin would know about that.
I have a publicist.
Yeah. Just even being in the world.
Thank you, Rachel Madison Hill. Shout out to BMP Beverly Hills. Rachel Madison Hill. Rachel, thank you so much. I love you. Do not bombard my publicist, okay? But yeah,
leave her alone.
I'm grateful. Thank you for that.
No, but like as Kels knows, these people come into these interviews and they don't want to be seen in a certain light.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's just how it is. You guys might look at it and think, oh, it's reality. Well, it's not. It sucks, but
there is no reality. It's a false narrative. All of this, this is a false narrative. This is not a reality that you are seeing. Exactly.
So like, so yeah, in a nutshell, what's his name?
Ray J.
Nutshell. He practically just, I guess, had enough.
Exactly.
He had enough. He had enough of people. Like, as you would too, someone blaming you for something you actually didn't do. I'm surprised he kept his mouth shut.
Yeah, for that
long. That's a long fucking time to take some blame.
Well, allegedly, they it's not even alleged. It's been released from the head of Vivid Entertainment. So that's the adult film production company that put out the Kim Kardashian Ray J tape. Yeah. He actually confirmed that they had an actual contract and there were clauses that were signed off on regarding the sex tape. So, and these contracts that they had to sign off on, it became standard in California law that an adult film tape of two celebrities could not be released without their authorization. And that was actually due to the case of Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson. They were the first two public figures to have like.
There's like a whole show on that. On
Disney.
Yeah.
They had a miniseries that was on air about that. But due to that case, any potential adult film tape that came forward involving a celebrity, it wasn't able to be released without their authorization and them signing off on it.
Okay.
So with that being a part of California law, that means there's no way Kim Kardashian's tape
just suddenly
couldn't come out without her authorization, without her signing off on it.
Wow.
So Ray J,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Ray J probably didn't say anything, probably due to like an NDA.
100%.
Probably also due to it, it did do something for their branding in different ways. Ray J his family had a lot of wealth prior to any of this, where his sister had a TV show called Moesha, where she was an R&B singer, but it was a show that came out in the 90s. It had Tyrese on it. It was Tyrese's first acting gig. Yeah.
From Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
What's up, boys? What up, man?
How's everything with you, man? Good. Oh, Troy, this is Moesha.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
So, we don't see you around much, Troy. You must not hang out.
No, I don't hang out. I'm all about the books.
That's good, that's good. Have a girlfriend?
No.
A boyfriend?
Mo! I'm not seeing anyone right now. I'm just, I have a hard time talking to women.
My best friend is Brandy, and we'd always shop together. She'd always ask me to be, oh, you have to help me out, be my stylist. And I'd never assisted a stylist before. I never went to school for it. I never, really knew what the job really entailed. So I just kind of blew it off, and we'd always shop together. And one day she called me and was like, will you be my stylist? And I said, sure. She'd always said it. I thought she was kidding. And the next day her record company called me and hired me. And like a week later we left for a 3-week promotional tour in Europe. And I had to dress her and her dancers. And I was like freaked out. And she was amazing. And she was like, don't worry, I'll walk you through the whole thing.
So how did Kim repay Brandy for everything she did for her? Well, she only stole money from Brandy, villainized her younger brother, and trashed Brandy's biggest inspiration, Whitney Houston.
It was his first acting gig or whatever. Him and Moesha were pretty tight. And through that avenue, Ray J ended up getting his own show. They both had shows in the 90s. And then the family was really smart. They decided to get involved into the production aspect of it. So they syndicated a lot of their episodes. In order to syndicate a TV show, you need 100 episodes.
Yeah.
To syndicate it. Once it's 100 episodes, you can then sell the show to different markets. So you can sell the show to a distributor in Ukraine.
UK or some shit.
Yeah, or the UK or South America, and they'll do translations in other languages, and then you will forever get financial residuals
of course,
off a show that's syndicated.
It's like Friends.
Yeah, it's like Friends. Yeah, Friends.
Friends keep making money.
Friends, Seinfeld, yeah.
Big Bang Theory.
Reminds me of Kanye. Kanye's in the news a lot lately. but Kanye got attacked by Jennifer Aniston on Friends. And she was like, Kanye, what you're doing with this presidential election thing, it's not funny. And he's like, yeah, Friends wasn't funny either.
That's a burn.
It's a hell of a comeback, man.
That was a good comeback because
I never got into Friends.
You know what I've noticed? It's just people who sit there and it's like background noise.
Yeah. It's just show to put on while you're cooking.
Yeah,
it's like a loose night.
Like I wouldn't look at it and be like, wow, this is the best writing I've ever.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
This is genius.
Yeah. But back to what we were saying with
big old Ray J.
Ray J and Kim K. So their family, Ray J's sister and his family, they were all set up financially.
So what would make them?
And so they would have no incentive necessarily to have a sex tape being released. Now Kim, on the other hand, Kim was working as Paris Hilton's pretty much personal stylist, and almost like personal assistant. And so Kim sort of gained a bit of notoriety initially early on in the hip hop industry. She was targeting different rappers, producers. Her first husband was a guy named Damien. Forgot his surname, but Damien's his main name. He's here. Yeah, so Damien and her got married, and she was looped into this whole Black Mafia family thing in Atlanta. So she had a very early start into the music industry, and apparently she lost her virginity to a member of 3T, which is a pop group.
The hell?
Yeah, which is a pop group that was, these were the sons of Tito Jackson. So she lost her virginity to one of the Jacksons, like cousins, from the Jackson family. So that shows
started off small.
That shows you how insidious this Hollywood, this Hollywood lifestyle is, or whatever.
Kim was started off from the bottom. Now we hit.
Yeah. So Kim has been on the hunt for some sort of
working her way up
prestige for a long time. And when Paris Hilton blew up after her sex tape, allegedly there was a lot of resentment between Paris and Kim, and more so Kim's mom, because Kim's mom had lost a lot of money when their dad passed away, and they became very financially in ruin to the point where they were almost put out in a sense of being like homeless. And so Kim's mom was like, okay, well, we can't go back to being poor. You're being Paris' personal assistant. So Kim started leveraging calling paparazzi to notify them about Paris Hilton's location ahead of time. But in order for her to divulge where Paris is going to be, she got the paparazzi to promise that they would also take photos of her. So, and the paparazzi agreed to it. So they started shooting Kim separately. Paris just started seeing it popping up and populating, going, oh, I guess they got some photos of you too. But Paris didn't necessarily know what was going on. So Kim's mom conspired to have a sex tape put together based off Paris Hilton's instant fame and her doing this
Night in Paris.
Yeah, Night in Paris, and then her getting a reality TV show from MTV based off it with Nicole Richie. Damn. The Simple Life.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lionel Richie's daughter, by the way, just in case no one.
Exactly. Lionel's been in New Zealand quite a few. Lionel's got kids everywhere.
Hey, he's a busy man.
I ran into Lionel a few times at the airport, but yeah, he's always coming down to Australia. He's got a little love child sprinkled all over the world. He's Nick Cannon. He's Nick Cannon. Nick's
no to Nick Cannon.
Speaking of Nick used to date Kim.
Knowing Ye.
Do you guys know each other?
Yeah.
Well, you introduced Kanye to Kim Kardashian.
I believe so. It was one night when, me and Kim was kicking it or whatever. And me, Kim, and Paris Hilton went to a club in New York, and we was hanging with Lil' Kim was there. And Kanye came to my table, and I was like, yo, meet my chick, Kim. And he was like, oh, that was me. Because that was early. That was like 2005, 2006. And then on my 26th birthday, Kim threw me a party at the store, and she was like, oh yeah, your friend Kanye, she was asking me all the people I wanted to be there. And she invited him and all of that stuff. He came through. I was like, so they had never met before that other night.
That's true.
Nick was with Kim when the sex tape got released. Nick asked her about it, and she denied that there was ever a sex tape existing, and that was sort of what ended their relationship, because he had already heard through the grapevine she had a tape that was in the pipeline. He was just like, yo, I wanted her to be truthful and honest, and she couldn't be honest to me. And he said the one thing that I really admire about her is that she changed the standard of beauty.
Kim Kardashian is, she did change the concept of beauty, but she also changed the acceptance of plastic surgery and everything else that. And that's because did she have plastic surgery when you guys were dating?
Nah, we used to talk about it. I used to tell her no.
She was always voluptuous. You could look at old pictures of her in high school and stuff like that.
It was phenomenal for someone who you probably thought you didn't know she was half Armenian, whatever. Like, yo, that white girl got ass. And I remember she didn't like her nose, and I'm like, yo, you're beautiful. She would talk about wanting stuff or being unhappy with certain things, and I'm like, nah, you good. Embrace your flaws. That's your character. That's what makes you are. Because I remember, and I still don't even know, but I remember her nose, she used to have an issue because she thought she had a more, as she called it, Armenian nose. And I was like, yo, that's dope. That's you. And because to me, that's all insecurity and not really loving yourself for who you are. Where's the line between taking care of yourself and vanity? They're trying to keep up. Father Time is undefeated.
Right.
So a lot of these women are happy with how they looked when they were 25, but now they're 30, 35, 40, and they want to still look how they looked when they were 25. What are all of these women who've gotten plastic surgery going to look like in 20 years? Well, I see them do the cheek injections.
Yeah.
And these are women yo, you were beautiful last week. And that's what these doctors are brainwashing these women with, to tell them that this procedure is gonna make you look younger. They're not even saying it's gonna make you look beautiful. I think they're not chasing beauty anymore. They're chasing youth, because they're going to age. And that's the reason why plastic surgery is such a booming business. But we get to this place, especially people who are placed in front of the public eye, they want to be this avatar, non-human ideal of what they think they should look like, opposed to just being who they actually are.
He was just it was a big goal of hers, and she told me this. She felt it was hard for her being an ethnic brown girl, her to be curvaceous, and have brunette hair, and she really wanted to make it cool. And now Kim is the walking avatar for what a lot of these Instagram models want to be.
Much, yeah.
Prior to that, it was the girls from Model Mayhem.
Like Kate Moss and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Skinny.
The girls that look like more mayhem than model. We all know these girls, the Tila Tequilas and
oh my God, I remember that show.
Yeah.
She was kind of like a Kim Kardashian.
Dude, I used to talk to Tila Tequila on MySpace.
Oh goddamn.
Tila Tequila would become one of the original pioneers of social media thanks to her uber popular MySpace profile and her prolific photo spreads for Playboy magazine.
Who's got over 2 million friends on MySpace, been on Stuff, Maxim, and Time, and is in fact Vietnam's finest export. That's right, Tila Tequila.
Back then, she was even known to call a new fan of hers each day. She told Time, "There's a million hot naked chicks on the internet. There's a difference between those girls and me. Those chicks don't talk back to you."
Like MySpace initially was like almost like it was a college only sort of social media site. And then they opened it up to like general public and it became almost like a dating site. Oh. So I used to chat with Tila like through Messenger and I had some weird screen name. I had like, well, it was like B-Boy Space Kid. I was a breakdancer, guys. I still breakdance, okay? Fucking, you got served. If you look at all my older pictures, which you'll see here, fuckboy vibes. Complete fuckboy vibes.
I was gonna say Tila Tequila, her show was kind of gross. She the show I remember when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
She would date like 6 guys or something, and she'd like be making out with like 6, 7 guys. It was nasty.
Dudes, yeah.
And like be in bed with like a different guy each time. I remember as a kid, I was like, ew.
That was the precursor to OnlyFans.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was getting your reality TV show and making out with random dudes and stuff.
In 2007, Tila was arguably at the peak of her popularity. That's when she signed up for her very own reality dating series on MTV titled A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila. Producers behind the series would line up 16 men and 16 women for Tila to choose from, and then at the end of the very first episode, they dropped the bombshell that Tila was bisexual.
I never told anyone this before. I'm a bisexual. Oh.
But to absolutely no one's surprise, the entire series, all 2 seasons, turned out to be nothing more than a sham. Not only did Tila never date the winners from either season, but a source close to production told Page 6, Tila made out with some girls in her past, as all girls have, but she's not bi at all. In 2018, Tila herself would confirm this fact after she posted a confession on her evangelic YouTube page. Don't worry, we're gonna get to explaining how she got there. It's a long story.
I was never bisexual. I was never lesbian. I was never gay. It was all gay for pay.
So that was the goal, was to become a reality TV girl.
Yeah.
You know?
Like Jessica Simpson, Kim Kardashian, Tila Tequila. Yeah. Like there were so many of them back in those days.
Either you were doing music, either you were a music video girl, or you were doing reality TV. So so Ray J and this whole tape or whatever couldn't have come to fruition and been signed off on without Kim's authority and authorization, and her mom helped conspire to it, to the fact that they found out there was 2 different tapes.
Kim Kardashian got her handwriting and her fingerprints all over my contract. When you look at the 2, when you look at my signature and you look at her signature on my deliverables, that say sex tape number 1, sex tape number 2, and guess what? The 3rd sex tape or the 2nd they've been trying to play me on, they called Santa Barbara Sex. Her mama made us go shoot it for safety. She watched the motherfucker and said, hey, we're gonna go with the first one because the first one is better. It gives my daughter a better look than the second one that I made y'all go do. But you watched it and made a decision, and then you get on whatever show you was on and take a lie detector test with a fraud.
Yeah, and her mom watched one. That's the part that I found really weird. The fact that you can sit there and watch your child do these things, and then like just watching like it's like any other business meeting. Oh yeah, that's good. You know what? We're gonna go with Kim getting it from behind. We'll take that one.
Like, yeah, the doggy style wasn't that good.
Yeah, what the?
Kim's blowjob was a little. Kim, I told you, I taught you better.
It's just nasty. And it's crazy because this woman will deny this to the ends of the fucking earth. Like you can show her the contract, and you can show her even a message of her saying that she signed this and she let it out. And I still think that the mom will still deny it.
I, literally fell apart. I had to go in a room and cry. I don't think anything can prepare you for something like that when it comes to your daughter.
Kris Jenner will still deny it.
Yeah, I mean, and this actually goes back to different biological conversations we were talking about men and women, where women will just deny anything regarding body count or anything sexual because innately they know that their value is tied to their purity. So they will purport that they're saints and that they're pure, they're in touch. No, I had nothing to do with it. I was completely innocent. And they will carry that to the grave.
Kris Jenner is the matriarch of the Kardashian Jenner Clan, a clan that is worth $6.6 billion. She manages and has cultivated what many say is America's royal family. Their products range from TV shows to cosmetic lines to apparel to skincare, apps, health and wellness sites, churches, and shady business schools. As was typical for the times, Lou married young. She gave birth to one daughter, Mary Jo, on July 26, 1934. When Lou's husband cheated on her with another woman, she did the unthinkable for a small-town girl in Arkansas. She picked up and moved. Kris Jenner wrote, quote, "My grandmother was very strong-willed and stubborn. She decided she didn't need a man. Lou met a quiet young man named Jim Fairbanks."
What? That nigga's tripping.
My mom and my grandmother were very much alike.
Mary Jo was only 15 at the time, and it seemed she had a bright and promising career ahead of her as a fashion model or actress. Upon graduation from high school, before she was able to chase her dreams in Los Angeles, New York City, London, Paris, or Milan, Mary Jo fell in love with a young man 4 years her senior, Robert Tuvey. Robert Tuvey was a regular guy who appreciated Mary Jo as the finest thing in life. They wed in San Diego on September 21st, 1952. Unfortunately, their union was brief, and they divorced 2 months later.
How old were you when you got kissed the first time?
15.
And who did you kiss? Do you remember his name?
Yeah, I married him.
Oh, amazing. Her first kiss she married.
So cute. But we were only married 2 months. Less than Kimmy.
She met another young man who had all the qualities she and her mother were looking for, Robert True Houghton. He promised to support and provide her a life where she didn't have to worry or be concerned about money. The couple wed in 1954 and later welcomed their first child, a daughter they named Kristen Mary Houghton, on November 5, 1955. And in 1962, she filed for divorce. When you are a child and your parents separate, you're always hoping that they're going to get back together. Kris never fully eradicated the insecurities she faced as a result of her parents' divorce, which greatly influenced her need for attention, control, and financial security. Mary Jo had taken comfort in how Kris's exquisite beauty would take her anywhere she wanted to go in life. Being a pretty woman certainly had its rewards. She found it equally important to surround herself in a male-dominant environment. She took jobs that put her in a position where she would meet wealthy men who could provide a better life for her and her girls. My mother met Harry Shannon. Harry was a great guy, and he quickly became her guy. These episodes really scared the girls and gave them front row seats to a toxic relationship. Harry and Mom flew to Puerto Vallarta and got married. She wanted to get married and have 6 kids, but she wanted to marry an adult, not someone her own age. Kris was far more interested in older men who were established, and she was well aware of how they treated her. They didn't treat her like your average teenager. They wrote, quote, "The men couldn't help but notice her. Most of them were much older and married. It did wonders for her self-confidence whenever these successful men glanced her way and let her know by how they looked at her that they found her attractive and desirable. She was not only a stunning brunette, but was also charming and fun. She instinctively knew men loved being heard. Men felt she heard and understood them. It was all research for learning how men operate. It was an education for Kris to discover that wealth and privilege could be easily obtained. 17-year-old Kris met another professional golfer. His real name was Cesar Sanudo, and he was 12 years older than her. He made all the boys I'd hung out with in high school seem like, well, boys. That Cesar's daughter Amber later told the Daily Mail that, quote, "He told me, she told him she was 21, but she was only 17. Kris was set on meeting more prominent people at the racetrack.
Robert Kardashian. And I was 17 years old.
Marrying into money. Fans have insisted that her sly money-making tactics, at the expense of her family and daughters, are what makes her a little evil. With just a high school degree to her name, Kris has become the mother of 2 billionaires and 4 millionaires. The Kardashians know that Kris Jenner's marriages have been quite a roller coaster. From gold-digging rumors to cheating allegations, this mom has definitely managed to marry into money. Here's how she did it. Kris met her ex-husband and lawyer, Robert Kardashian, at a racecourse one day, and the pair had an instant connection. Kris figured that there was no harm in seeing how things played out, and that was mainly because Robert was a rich, successful, and wealthy man, unlike Kris's current boyfriend at the time. As they were in the middle of things, Kris's boyfriend arrived home earlier than expected and saw Kris in bed with Robert Kardashian. And the rest was history. The pair continued to date and tied the knot a few years later. But here's where it gets interesting. In his new book, Kardashian, An American Drama, New York Times bestselling author Jerry Oppenheimer dishes the dirt on Kris and reveals how she went from a golf groupie to a multi-millionaire just by marrying a rich man. A childhood friend of Kris revealed that from a young age, her mom, Mary Jo Shannon, trained her in the act of seduction, and old friends even claimed, "The way I knew Kris, she was a good person, and then something happened. I don't want to use a bad term, but I think her mom started pimping her out." And by the time Kris was 16, she was spending her weekends with her lavish mom in Rancho La Costa, where she learned how to interact with rich golfers and older men. And, well, the rest was history. Some fans even theorized that the reason why Kris and Rob's marriage was weird is that she had him under some sort of seductive spell, to the point where he even turned a blind eye to her running him dry financially. Even though the couple appeared to be very loved up on the outside, Kris was enjoying Rob's money a little too much. And after the pair got married, Kris spent $3,000 of Rob's money on a belt without batting an eyelid, and boy was he furious. These belts soon turned into operations, as in plastic surgery from head to toe, including a crazy boob job. This was also when Kris allegedly began seeing a soccer player, Todd Waterman, and introducing him as her boyfriend at parties. What's more bizarre is that she was paying his bills with Robert's money. Until this day, fans allege that Khloe may in fact be Waterman's child. But either way, Kris was very clever and tactical with whom she chose to have kids with, and it explains why all the Kardashian Jenner kids are very intentional with their baby daddies too. After all, that's how they stay rich. The major business move. So the alleged super evil business move that Kris Jenner took part in was leaking her own daughter's sex tape. Here's the context. Kim Kardashian and her ex-boyfriend Ray J turned the camera on their sex sessions during a luxury holiday in Cabo, Mexico in October 2002 and created a sex tape. A few years later, around the time of Keeping Up with the Kardashians airing, the tape was leaked to the world, coincidentally. At the time, Kim said that she made the explicit video with Ray because I was horny and felt like it. But fans actually believed that it was all planned, thanks to mastermind and momager Kris. According to Page 6, here's what a source had to say. A mutual friend of Kim and Paris Hilton had advised her that if she wanted to achieve fame, a sex tape would be the way to go. Kim had discussed the idea of producing a tape with her family beforehand. Another source then added, it was Kris who engineered the deal behind the scenes and was responsible for the tape seeing the light of day. This tape scandal, along with the controversial news of O.J. Simpson at the time, drove Kris Jenner to make money out of this opportunity by pitching what we now know as Keeping Up with the Kardashians to Ryan Seacrest. He loved the idea, and the rest was history. This was all a major tactical move for Kris, and when KUWTK premiered, the Kardashians shot to fame because of it. Any publicity is good publicity, right? Not quite. Kim still has to face the consequences of the tape leaking until this day. In a 2022 episode of The Kardashians, the new series, Kim was being haunted by her past when Ray J's manager threatened to leak extra footage of her old sex tape. Of course, Khloe called it a good omen, but Kim was crying her eyes out. Kris, on the other hand, looked completely unbothered and ice cold while Khloe went to comfort Kim by hugging her.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's not okay though, it's not. On Roblox. Sam was on Roblox yesterday.
The new golden child. Over the years, many fans have insisted that Kris Jenner is toxic because all she cares about is making money. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The Kardashian Jenner kids have opened up about not feeling loved or appreciated by their mom over the years. Back when Keeping Up with the Kardashians was getting started, it always seemed that Kim Kardashian was Kris Jenner's favorite child, probably because she was making her mom a ton of money. Kim even confirmed it when she and sisters, Kourtney and Khloe Kardashian, stopped by Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen in 2019. Khloe then shared that about 10 years ago, Kim was the favorite, as the momager was wrapped up in her daughter's career. But times have changed, however, as the sisters were in agreement that Kylie pushed her way to the top of their mom's list. Khloe explained,
Kimberly 10 years ago.
with the sisters agreeing,
Kylie now.
These are facts, not what we
it's
think.
not, we're not guessing.
and it only gets worse from there. During the season finale of KUWTK, the women had a bit of fun impersonating one another, with Khloe Kardashian delivering a masterclass with her impersonation of Mom Kris. In one clip from the show, Khloe, as her mom, says,
Kylie, you could sit next to me because you are my favorite. When you make $1 billion, I have my Kylie, my $1 billion baby. Now she will always be the dearest to my heart for a billion reasons.
ouch. This shows that even the Kardashian Jenner kids know that their mom values money above all, including her own kids. And this leads us to some major scandals, including both Kris and Kylie Jenner. When the youngest of the clan, Kylie Jenner, sold 51% of her Kylie Cosmetics to beauty giant Coty in a deal valued at $1.2 billion, it was an iconic moment for the family. That was until Forbes accused Kylie's business of being way smaller and less profitable than Kris Jenner had spent years leading the cosmetics industry and media outlets, including Forbes, to believe. The idea that Kylie Cosmetics grew from nothing to $300 million in sales in a single year was hard to believe, and Forbes came to the conclusion that Kylie's business was never that big to begin with, and that Kris was publishing fake results with her accountant to make Kylie look like a billionaire, when in fact she was earning way under $900 million. Of course, many fans weren't shocked, as Kris has a thing for lying, or shall we say, exaggerating the truth. The ultimate sabotage. One rule that everyone has in Hollywood is not to mess with Kris Jenner because she's known for ruining people's careers. Let's start with Blac Chyna. A lawyer for Blac Chyna has told a jury that Kris purposely ruined her reputation by painting her in such a bad light on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, as well as being responsible for axing season 2 of her show, Robbing Chyna. Chyna, as a result of this, sued Kris for $100 million over lost earnings from the show. If that wasn't evil enough, a lawyer claimed Kris Jenner falsely accused Blac Chyna of physically laying hands on her son, Rob Kardashian, in a bid to cancel Chyna. And if you thought the drama was ending, it's only just beginning. Kris isn't slowing down.
I mean, like, can Kim say that? We all know who's been getting with her.
Oh, yeah. we know. But she does it sort of in a way that's like, it's real covert. I think the most overt she's been about her sexual activity has been with Pete Davidson.
But like I feel like everyone knows who she's got with her. Like, it hasn't been that secretive.
Well, if you Google her body count, Kim's been around town, and they were saying that's essentially what fucked up Kanye. And it was like, because Kanye, at the end of the day, Kanye should have been aware of what he was getting into, you know. A lot of these rappers, that's my issue with a lot of these dudes. Men that have like good, understanding of their own value and stature, they don't target these type of chicks that have been all over town. The guys that you see that end up getting a girl like pregnant that was like not in the best light, Drake, for example. Drake got this chick who's an adult film star. He got her pregnant. And
he didn't do a Kanye marry her.
Yeah, getting her pregnant? No, dude, you got a kid for life.
Hey, I'm
with a horn star.
I'm
with
like
a horn. Yeah,
but at least he dipped. He wasn't like, I'm gonna marry this chick. Kanye took that to a whole nother level.
It's still bad. It's still bad on your record because, like, technically, if you've got the success that you do have, your dating pool is so vast. Why would you need to go after like an adult film star other than like, okay,
because he might want to try it. He might be like, I've always wanted that. Now I can because I'm famous.
True, but getting one pregnant, you gone raw.
That might happen to me one day.
Bro, no. If he do that, dude's not brewing. He is not brewing.
We can take this snippet right here and be like,
nah,
I knew it. The future told me. I got hella money and accidentally.
That's from top G to simp. No, don't be simping, bro. No, don't simp.
No, I ain't no simping. I think Kanye.
She belongs to the streets.
For me, like,
never forget, she belongs to the streets.
Kanye was always simping. The dude was putting her on a pedestal.
Yeah,
he threw on her Instagram. He was his life was Kim Kardashian.
It's not even about him even putting her on the IG. It's just his track record. So you can go from him meeting Amber
Rose.
Rose, who is a
stripper.
Scripper. Yeah, we term things. No, I'm just.
Oh, okay.
Just to be safe.
Cool.
He was with a scripper. You know what I'm saying? He won't afraid no scrippers. He was like T-Pain.
I'm the simpiest nigga alive. I don't.
What you mean?
I'm the king of the simps. If Drake album was a person, it'd be me.
He fell in love with a scripper. You know what I'm saying? You see that?
Except
video?
T-Pain did not fall in love
Exactly.
with his
Except T-Pain knew not to pipe down.
He fell in love with his high school sweetheart.
Some scrippers, you know what I'm saying, and make them into celebrities. So what I find simpy is when we end up having to deal with a lady who came up off another guy's penis, and now we have to hear her point of view on the war in Iraq. So it's like getting news updates on Amber Rose.
Yeah, there's a lot of them like that. Like Chris Brown has got that crunchy.
But yeah, in Chris's defense, this is in Chris's defense.
Okay.
When Kris went through public relations wise with Ariana in that domestic abuse situation, I get why he turned to sleeping with some of his groupies. It was because no one in the public setting wanted to date him because of his PR. It was bad. He had a bad public profile based off that situation. And there's so much I know to that story because I'm from Virginia and I know his DJ. Shouts to Baby Drew, my homie. But I know about the details of it. And there's no domestic abuse situation that ever occurs where there's not two parties involved. And he was dating a West Indian girl. If you know anything about girls from Barbados, girls from the Caribbean, they're hostile. It's that whole black magic voodoo culture. What are you doing, Chris Brown, writing the girl? Huh? You think you talking the girl behind me back? And so that is what you were dealing with, was this lady in his ear constantly trying to manage and micromanage who he was talking to, who he wasn't talking to. Rihanna and Chris Brown, at the end of the day, they were kids. I have so much empathy for that simple aspect of a story that the general public overlooked. They almost treated Chris Brown like he was a 50-year-old man that was like well aware of his strength and his situation and what was going on. These are two kids in a financially well-off kids with no one micromanaging them, no mentors really. These are kids that were in the industry to make money. They were whored out to make money, even by their own parents to some degree. Can't speak for Rihanna's, but definitely for Chris's. You know what I mean? So these kids were brought up in entertainment with no gauge of reality, and then you're trying to have a relationship and have someone try to micromanage you, that's a nightmare. You can't control people, and every young person has gone through that. Have you been in any relationships, where you felt like you wanted to know who your partner was talking to? She wanted to know who you were talking to?
Oh, I've never wanted to know. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I've always just been pretty but I have been the opposite, where it's been very micromanaged. And I can understand like
the whole let me see your phone shit, like
or just go through your phone.
I was that way, man. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to admit that, and that'll be another story for another day. But it was just like I thought life was Disney. I thought relationships was Disney, and I didn't know what my value was, what I was supposed to be doing on earth as a man. So I was always worried about being left. Even if I was like a super attractive guy, I realized that like I was young and I didn't have much to me, like outside of my looks. And like I had a little bit of modeling early on, like local modeling in Virginia. Luckily enough, that I was able to work with Pharrell's brand and his people. But I still didn't know what my role on Earth was like. So I was very emotional. I was very like, I don't want to be left. And I made those mistakes of trying to micromanage. And a lot of that, the reason why I did that, it was almost like an immediate reaction to what she was doing. So I almost like mimicked the behavior of the other person. You become who you're with, ideally. And I didn't have any sort of standards or frame as a man or as a boy. So I was sort of falling off whatever she did. If she was insecure about me, and I was like, okay, now I'm insecure about you. Who are you talking to? Give me your MySpace password. Give me your MySpace password. So it was just like crazy shit like that. And
I never got to be like that. That's funny.
Yeah, it's just when people think love is Disney, they feel like I need to make sure you're not gonna leave me. It's like you don't have any control over that, you know. And it's
Someone's gonna leave you.
and it's a bad precedent to start off any relationship with, is looking for problems, you know,
before they've even happened.
Before they've even occurred, because you're making someone else responsible for your happiness. And that's what I was doing. I was making her responsible for my happiness, and she was doing the same thing to me, and we were both codependent on each other. We're like, where are you at? Oh, what are you doing? I'm just gonna hang out today. It looks like you got a new follower on MySpace. Who's that guy? Who's that girl? And it was just, that's what was going on. Damn. So, Chris Brown and Rihanna, I understand it very completely. So that's why you start sleeping with groupies, with Karrueche Tran. Okay. But men, know your value, please. You know, especially if you start making a name for yourself. Don't go for low value people, and now they become public figures, and now we got to hear about Black China. Like, we don't want to sit around and hear about these random names that they've made for themselves. Sprinkle Star, whatever her name is, you know. Which
I have no idea. You have no idea who that is.
I've literally made it up.
Oh,
okay.
I'm
sure there will be some chick in my DMs being like, "Yeah, you talked about me on your podcast, Sprinkle Star. Yeah, that's my name. Get right." You know, so we're Americans. We kind of come up with our own swagger, but still, yeah.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. So back
to Kanye.
Yeah. Kanyezizzle.
Mr. Kanye Wizzle. I don't know how he reacted. I can't remember. You might know, but I know that he probably was like, "Holy shit! It's all just come to light." Ray J's ratted him out, ratted Chris out, ratted Kim out.
I don't know what the fuck you think this is, but you have fucked with the wrong person. Period. You have fucked with the wrong black person. Period. You don't fuck with the wrong black man. Oh no, you don't fuck with the wrong one. I was just gonna handle this shit legally, right? And just hit you in court and just get what I'm deserved from all of y'all being foul and trying to defame me and trying to make me look bad. When you know what's up, in 1 hour, I'm having them send everything I got. We going through receipts.
Yeah, and apparently the second sex tape that they had, adult film tape, that Ray J and Kim had, they had one that was in Cabo San Lucas, and that's the one everyone saw. Cabo San Lucas is in Mexico. Good vacation spot. Good place to get laid as well, too. Yeah, apparently so. You should try to find the villa that Kim K got smashed in. But anyhow, the second tape was in Santa Barbara, which is like this very suburban, very beautiful part of California, but it sounds like they got put into like a friend's house of somebody's in Santa Barbara. Like it was a friend of like Kris Jenner's or whatever. Yeah. It didn't sound like it was, you know, it's not Cabo. It's not vacation. So it sounded like they went to a family friend's house to do another tape. But anyhow, nevertheless, there's always been a rumor there's a second tape going around. And there was a rapper named Wack 100 who said he had a copy of it. And he gave a copy of the tape to Kanye.
Just traveled to get something for Kim.
You went all the way to LA to get something for Kim?
Mm-hmm.
You were something else. What did you get?
Well, that's what she wanted.
He got me all of the sex tape back.
Oh my God.
And he flew home and got the computer. It was on the hard drive. And met up with Ray J at the airport and got it all back for me.
Oh, Kim.
Oh my God.
One tape is out. It's in multiple parties' hands. So Kim has never had the best reputation in the industry because she's been known to have social climbed her way up a ladder. So
and playing the backseat, like they can't do this no more than me. You didn't what? You didn't have nothing to do with the sex tape, Chris. Like you a mom. Like you 60 something. Really only played my part. Y'all told me what to do. I said cool. So I'm taking full responsibility to some of the fucked up shit that happened. Because all that was important was he cleared my name so my kids don't think I'm a bad person like they making me be. The fittings and shit. Hold on. Now look. He like checking in. I'm on the flight. My brother here, whatever. Should I meet you downtown? That's fine. You see what I said? I'll be by myself, bro, out of respect. I really want to make this right, bro. But you gotta be willing to clear my name. That's all I ask, man. You gotta be willing to clear my name. We can do it hella strategic, however you want, because I know Kim's still lying. So however y'all can just make my name clean so I can get back to my regular life. So my sister and my mom and my daughter and everybody don't think that I'm some kind of slime ball, right? So look, here we go. I'm pulling up to see her. I'm pulling up to see the Santa Barbara tape. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the third one that Kris Jenner made us do. Keep going up. It's Brandon again, y'all. He said, I could bring Kim too. Keep going. And I tell him right here, this is honest. I'm not lying. If she wasn't honest about this when you went down, all this went down, do you really think she would sit with you and Steve together? You know what I'm saying? I think that's a stretch. She would never do that. Matter of fact, I'm almost 1,000% she would never do it. He like, man, I just want the fucking number, man. You know what I'm saying? Can't. Dog, you gon' like, chill, dog.
They said pull up the Kim K messages.
They said pull up the DMs.
Okay.
Let's pull up the DMs.
Let's go.
We pulling up the Kim K DMs. Now look, on these DMs that I tell Kim, this is in April. I tell Kim, if somebody don't hit me back right now, I'm telling everything. Steve Hirsch, you and your mama and Steve set it up. I ran everything I just told y'all line for line. I ain't talked to Kim in 20 years. Never talked to her on DM, never seen her. But she was playing with me and she know I had the sauce. So I said, somebody better hit me back right now or I'm spilling all the beans and I'm taking y'all down. She hit me right back. 2 hours later, how many followers she got? 300 million? How the fuck you see me in there? You know what? Because you saw the truth in there. And and then you start responding to me and talking to me every day, trying to make sure I'm okay. But you let the people think I'm some kind of sleazeball and some kind of loser. But you trying to make me feel okay and trying to make me not go at Kanye and do this and that. Dog, that's janky as fuck. Hold on, that's just me going through the phone. I think you just show it right from the computer. It's way better. Show it right from the computer, Brandon. Right there, just like that. That bitch just like this, nigga.
Well, I'm trying to get so you can
just like that, nigga. All right.
Let's go back a little bit. Just so you can see this all the way clearly.
Let's just go right there. Nigga, we hood as fuck, nigga. Watch this shit. Watch this shit. All right, let's go. Now, here's where it starts. Boom. You see what I said? I'm telling her. Why are you playing games, Kim? I've not been nothing but a team player. We had it all agreement. Now you're trying to drag my name for your new show? That ain't cool, yo. It fucks up my business and relationships. When we sat down with Steve Hirsch and your mom and we planned it all out together, now you really are taking this lie to the next level. Making me look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck with it, Brandon. I got it. Don't do nothing. Making me look crazy. You know what I'm saying? See, you fucking me up. Don't do that no more. I don't want to expose the real shit that we did, but you're leaving me no choice. Kanye said you wanted the footage, and I gave him all the videos and pics and texts from me and you. Because you and I was trying to make things okay, and I was trying to make you feel better. Now I realize this is another promo stunt for you. Unless you reach out to me soon, I'm going to take this shit to the next level, and I'm going to show everything of what we did. All of what we did. Dates, times, our meetings, the whole lie you and Chris planned since the beginning. I got all that. Them is my whoppers. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just wanting them to try to deny some shit some more. I'm waiting, like, I'm going to show y'all everything, and then I got whoppers. Because I don't want niggas to think I'm capping. This shit sound cappy. Like, nah, fuck that. Let's go. Where my phone? She blocked me. Oh, that's dope. It don't matter if she blocked me. Hold on. Yeah, she just blocked the nigga. She nervous? Kim nervous?
Here we go.
Now, this is just common sense, y'all. This just common sense. I'm gonna turn my phone off. This is just common sense, right? If she never had nothing to do with it, then why would you even fucking respond? Oh yeah, it's Ray J. If you don't know who this is. 2 hours later. 2 hours later. 2 hours later. Why are you sorry? If I'm the wrong person, why are you sorry for anything? I'm a deadbeat, right? I put this shit out without you noticing. We never talked since. I'm the enemy. I discuss you. You don't ever want me around anybody that you do business with. You know what I'm saying? You don't want me to... You don't want me to do none of that, do you? But you sorry. Now you trying to work it out. Now you trying to play like the Roblox thing was actually real when you heard the spokesperson from Roblox say that's impossible. Right? Now you talking to me. Look at these paragraphs. I'm not even done. I say all kind of shit. But I'm just showing you what she's saying. Like, look. I completely understand all this shit. Like, this shit. Just spoke to my team. We will get something back out tomorrow morning and clarify that this was a joke. And then you will have never... Like, you trying to blame whack on something that you already got. Y'all, listen, your mom told us to go do what we did in Santa Barbara. That's the only reason why y'all reached back out to whack is because he put Santa Barbara in the post. Because other than that, your lawyer went on TMZ and said whack was lying, 15 minutes of fame, blah, 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 blah. That's all y'all kept saying. And then he put Santa Barbara and it changed the game because you know. Like, look, you just keep going. Like, you trying to help me, but then you told me, look how she trying to, like, come on, y'all. What the fuck is this, dog? Like, look at this shit, dog. Like you talking to me. This just like, I told you to hit me right back. I ain't talked to you in 17 years. I said, I'm going to put everything out. Now you just talking to me. You talking to me like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Look how she look right here. Are you comfortable with the story? We are working together to try to have the tape removed from the internet and have it taken off. Like, look, this shit crazy. Like, we both want to protect children and family considering I hear you completely like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to talk like her, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just showing you. Look, she say like she said, I just think the story above is powerful and shows that we are working together for the future of our children and families to get out of the internet. Really? My family too? Because I can't motherfucking tell. Right. I can't tell.
Not the black man.
Not me. But you are really trying to do it or what? Because I said Steve won't allow it. So we can pretend to do all that, but it still probably won't happen. Plus, won't people say, why is Ray J trying to get it off the internet when I'm the one who put it out in their mind? Doesn't it get extremely confusing? She try to tell me to lie back and say, because you grew up.
Zoom in on that shit. They gotta
because you grew up and have a family and people change their minds. I didn't do shit. Like you believe in the lie way too much. I just wanted to be clear with you if you wanted to get out that we spoke. I don't want to create any drama at home. Oh, you don't want to create any drama at home for me?
That's the gaslight.
I can't tell.
That's gaslight.
I'm a piece of shit. You ain't talked to me in years. But the story that we will work together to speak to Vivid can get pulled off the air is a bigger story and show unity and that there's no more bad blood or drama. Like, what the fuck? Like, but you know what I'm saying? This in April, this, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, look. I don't know. I ain't never spoke to you on the phone or seen you in person in over 12 to 15 years. I'm having convo with you now, but I haven't been able to, Stop, nigga. But I haven't been able to look you in the eye and really lock in like it's supposed to be. I appreciate you for at least trying to make it better after it got way worse. Can we speak again tomorrow after the episode comes out and figure out the right plan for both of us? Absolutely, Ray. You know, if it's better, then if it's better that it just goes away, that's fine too. Okay, trust me, it'll go all the way. Please understand, I don't want this to come back up and thought you did since whack. He got it from you. What are you talking about? Let's discuss tomorrow. For sure, either way, it will be positive. So she trying to say that the episode that Kanye came back with the computer was positive for me. Yeah. So I watched the episode, fam. So I watched the episode. Kanye go back with the laptop. She say, wait, how much you pay? He go, pay? I never let them extort us again. And like bossed up, and I'm like, thank you. That's the thanks I get. Like, and she said, please watch the episode because you're going to be happy when you see it. So I'm like, all right, I'm watching it, thinking they going to clear my name, dog. And then all of a sudden, they like play a nigga. And I'm like, dog, that's some, like, I don't know. That was like some gothic, like just dark shit, dog.
Kim ended up going with Pete Davidson. Pete ended up getting the kids' names tattooed on their neck.
Yeah,
you know,
I thought that was weird.
Freaking nuts. Kanye calls him, he calls him Skeet Davidson or whatever. But Kanye was like, he's a heroin addict. I don't know Pete Davidson's story. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, or whatever.
But he is unhinged though. Like,
yeah, LA is a strange place. Yeah, and Pete,
he's not right in the head, and the fact that you've just met this guy, and you're willing to bring him around your kids is a little weird.
That behavior that Pete is doing is the equivalent of what I could have ended up like, because that is very like simpish, running on emotions type behavior. When you go find somebody and you fall in love with the wrong personality and stuff, you don't.
But he falls for like every girl he's.
Yeah, you don't know your value, you don't know your worth. Yeah.
And like again, like it's really weird if you have anyone that has kids.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Hold yourself to a standard. You know.
Yeah. I was just saying, anyone that has kids knows that you don't just introduce some partner you met like a month ago to your kids.
Yeah.
That in a nutshell tells you so much about that. For, like, of course, Kim could be like, well, you don't know what it's like to be a single mother. And I'm like, well, I know enough not to bring a stranger into my house and meet my kids, and it hasn't even been a year.
Yeah.
That's weird.
All of that is just
bizarre. It's bizarre.
It's bizarre. It's like devoid of reality to think that, like, it's socially normal for you to introduce your kids to a complete stranger. You know, that you
just kind of met.
Yeah.
If it'd been 3 years or something, I'd be like, it's been a while. Yeah. But a couple of months, like my mother was she was a single mother. She never ever introduced me to some dude she just started dating.
Yeah, because it's more integrity involved when things are handled that way as well too. My mom's a single mom as well too. She wouldn't just necessarily bring anyone around us, So, all of that it's just living in the Hollywood bubble. They feel like, I don't know, that they're absolved of having to do any sort of normalcy, and they overexpose their kids to a lot. I mean, that whole little Roblox skit.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's not okay, though. It's not. On Roblox. Sam was on Roblox yesterday.
The spokesperson from Roblox said when, responding to this whole situation. He or she said, the reference video was never available on our platform. We have strict moderation and policies to protect our community, including zero tolerance for sexual content of any kind which violates our community rules.
That's the amount of extremity they go to have content for their show.
Jesus.
And some ladies enjoy it, because some people have this weird obsession with reality TV where they want to live vicariously through.
Well, usually it's mainly like I hate saying it, but mainly it's just like girls who like reality TV. When I talk to like guys, I haven't really met any guys that watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Love Island, but I can name you a million girls who love it, and girls who are very, very smart girls. Are doing well in life, and I always go like, why do you want to watch this?
Do you want some of my sauce? Since you did shot it back.
Yeah, could you pour your sauce all over my
What is he gonna say?
You can name for the cup. That's fine. Yeah.
I just spit. Natasha and Kelvin are just like high school.
And they're like, oh, I just like trashy TV, or it's so easy to watch, or it makes me I kind of like love seeing their life, and I'm like, interesting.
Yeah, it's a big difference between, I would say, some biological factors. Again, between men and women.
Yeah, which is fine.
Women like to be, they like to spectate a lot. They're very social. They care about social issues. This is why you see she, her, in her profile, and we are aware you're a lady. But it's them doing it to feel included into whatever's trending. They care about the current cause. Nevertheless, back to Kim K with Pete Davidson. Fuck you, Pete. Fuck you, Pete. I don't know why I'm doing this hand gesture, but
I'll do it with you.
Fuck you. I think it's the javelin going straight through the clavicle.
That's
cavity.
a javelin?
Cavity.
Damn.
Watch this motion. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do that too long.
He's punching through the roof.
Fuck
just like this.
You, Pete. You know, so yeah, Pete's a douche. Now, I have a big bone to pick with him because he sent Kanye those photos.
Oh, yes, I remember that. He was in bed with Kim Kardashian, and I don't know if he's provoking, I don't know if he's trying to start something. He did tell people that Kanye started it first.
What's that Michael Jackson song?
You wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. You gotta get over, yeah, get under, yeah, get stuck in the middle, yeah. Gonna hear the swinging, yeah, swing that penis, yeah, on that chin, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying, yeah. Take things to do.
Yes, sorry guys. Sorry.
We're back.
We're back. That was the interview. But yeah.
Yeah. So he said Kanye started it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not too sure. I think you can see why Kanye would be a little upset.
Yeah,
you know?
It's understandable, man.
You know, you're gonna ram him around your kids, so yeah, you're gonna feel a type of way.
Yeah, Kim.
And he didn't want to be his friend.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would want to be his friend. If he was like, hey, I just want to be your friend.
Nah.
You're banging my wife or ex-wife, and you're around my kids. I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna be your friend?
Yeah, no. I mean, Kanye, at the end of the day, he's got kids, you know? So his first thought was family. And that's how men are. I think I was talking, we just talked about that, like in some capacity that.
The 28-year-old SNL star utilized his friend Dave Sirius's account to send out a few screenshots of the text messages that he had sent to Kanye West. He doesn't only send Kanye a shirtless pic. In the text, Pete says, "Yo, it's Skeet. Can you please take a second and calm down? It's 8 a.m. and it don't gotta be like this. Kim is literally the best mother I've ever met. What she does for those kids is amazing, and you are so effing lucky that she's your kid's mom. I've decided I'm not gonna let you treat us this way anymore, and I'm done being quiet. Grow the F up." To which Kanye replies, "Oh, you're using profanity. Where are you right now?" And this is where Pete took it to the point of no return. He texts back, "In bed with your wife," and then sends a selfie allegedly from Kim's bed. In response, Kanye says, "Happy to see you're out of the hospital and rehab."
When it comes to men, like maybe even sleeping around, they can sleep with another woman, potentially, you know, because
we talked about that
because they worked, because they worked hard to make their achievements and things, but they won't leave their family behind it.
Yeah.
You know, family for men means everything because we have societal pressure to be providers. That is when, if the family fails, they're not gonna look at the lady initially. They're gonna look at the man and go, "Hey,
it's your fuck up.
What happened?" It's not even a failure of the matter of divorce, but it's a failure as in like if the family ends up homeless. Like if he can't protect.
Oh yeah.
If he can't protect the family, divorce stuff, they'll look at the woman for the most part. Most men will go. And most women will go, yeah, she wanted to have her Sex in the City moment. She chose her self-gratification over long-term things and fucked up her kids in the process. And so that's how I feel about Kim K and Pete. I feel like she caused a lifetime worth of damage for a 9-month fling.
Was it 9 months?
Yeah.
Damn, that's short.
It was 9
but
months.
I always knew it was a fling.
It was short like her other marriage. Like everything with that lady is like.
I always knew it was gonna be a fling. I didn't think she was gonna stay in it. But it was weird how close she made it and how you know. But then if you look at his past, even Pete with Ariana Grande, it was the same vibe.
Yeah, man. No, Pete did the same shit. And this is literally what ended their relationship because when Pete Davidson got with Ariana Grande, he also started sending Mac Miller nasty messages, being like, "Oh yeah, I got your girl."
Holly Scoopers, this is some pretty sketchy news. We've just heard that Pete Davidson had actually sent Mac Miller private, intimate photos of Ariana just to taunt him. Is there any truth to these wild accusations? Let's dig in and find out. It's been circling around the internet, and after doing some digging, I think I have a pretty good idea of what's going on. So let's get started. So a tweet made its way around the internet that stated, TMZ published an article claiming Pete had sent private photos to Mac as a way to get Mac to stop holding out hope that his ex-girlfriend would return to him. Well, according to this rumor, Ariana heard about Pete and Mac's text exchanges through Pete's family members. Another weird little bit of info.
Has anyone said anything to you about Mac?
You know, I love my Mac lipstick. This is the Mac I'm here to talk about today, girl. Come on.
Mac Miller totaling his G-Wagon and getting a DUI after Ariana dumped him for another dude after he poured his heart out on a 10-song album to her called The Divine Feminine. is just the most heartbreaking thing happening in Hollywood. Just so we are clear here, Ariana Grande disabled her Instagram comments before speaking on the death of a guy who went over a year sober just to love her. Cheated on the same guy with arguably the most untalented human being in the show business, then never talked to the guy ever again before he ended up dead. And somehow she isn't to blame? How? Mac Miller would have turned 30 on January 19th, 2022.
Like, I was in love with somebody. We were together for 2 years. We worked through good times, bad times, stress, and everything else. And then it came to an end, and we both moved on. And it's that simple, you know?
When the topic of Grande's recent engagement to SNL actor Pete Davidson and the craziness that ensued online came up, Mac took the high road.
But yeah, it's strange. Like, the whole thing is a little strange, but it's not negative. It's just a part of something that's gonna continue to help make me who I am, you know? Like, it's all positive energy, you know? Like, I am happy for her and moving forward with her life, just as I'm sure she is with me.
Ariana and Mac broke up in May and was engaged to SNL actor Pete Davidson less than a month later.
Mac Miller has died at age 26 from an apparent overdose.
I was just a kid putting music on the internet, and then my fans kind of went crazy, and it wasn't until my fans were so undeniable that people really started, you know, focusing on who I was. So I gotta thank my fans for everything, because, you know, if it wasn't for people to support me, I wouldn't do anything.
This news comes shortly after he was arrested for DUI and months after his breakup from Ariana Grande. A source tells ET Ariana is devastated over the news.
It's just about like just being there for each other and like helping each other through scary times and like anxiety and, you know, some dark shit out there, man.
It is.
So we just have to like be there for each other as much as we can, because you never fucking know, you know. So I just wanted to do something to make people feel good and less alone. And it's not just about, you know, that, you know. It's also about personal demons and anxiety and more intimate tragedies as well, you know. Mental health is so important. People don't pay enough mind to it because we have things to do. We have schedules, we have jobs, we have, you know, kids and places to be and pressure to fit in and Instagram stories, whatever you're trying to put on facade, trying to keep up. People don't pay attention to like what's happening inside. You know, I'm so sorry. I'm falling apart. Yeah, that's why I felt like it was important. I just wanted to give people a hug musically. And I feel like the lyrics can be kind of corny when I talk about like wanting to hug you and stuff, but like I really do. Cause it's just like, I don't know. People gotta be nicer. When you see this shit on the news, it affects you, but not the same way. You feel bad, you tweet it, you post a picture, you send your condolences, you say something, and then you move on, you know. But like Christmas comes and you're like thinking about it, you know, it's like, you know, I'm so sorry. Like, it's like people are permanently affected by this shit, and it's just like perspective. It like changes everything, changes your life quite a bit, you know.
And I was drowning, but now I'm swimming through stressful waters to relief.
When faced with a choice to sink or swim, it appeared Mac was choosing to swim, to survive, to stay afloat.
Almost every album that he made was sort of like a love letter to whoever he was dating at the time. It's very hard to get off a lot of those sort of like drugs and chemicals in the States because the US mass markets it like it's normal. Like you watch a TVC, watch a television commercial, almost every other commercial on TV is a drug commercial in America. They're literally trying to sell you drugs 24/7.
Wow.
They legalize weed because they realize that they could tax it. So America has zero integrity. It's always money over integrity. They don't care what it does to your kids or what it does to people in the long term. With Mac Miller fell back into his addiction, dealing with some of the messages he was getting from Pete Davidson. They were saying how depressed it was making him. And Mac was always rapping about depression and sort of thing. So it drove him pretty much into a nosedive into hard addiction that resulted in an overdose.
Damn.
Pete Davidson's an asshole, man. I got no fucking sympathy for that guy, yo. He can fuck off.
I don't know. I just thought he was weird.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And you can get chicks for being like, I guess, funny, you know? That's cool. Like, ladies like comedy or whatever, whatnot. But it's your actions that sort of reveal all. And for me, he's like a grown man boy. Like, he looks like a dude that just never matured, you know? It's like the tattoos and shit. Okay, whatever. I guess that's edgy from a rock perspective, but who the fuck listens to rock music anymore? That's like a dead genre.
Willow Smith, apparently.
Yeah. Oh God.
Not even rock. What is it? It's like Satan rock or whatever it is.
Death metal.
Don't
get me stared on that weird ass like.
We'll do an episode on that.
That's, there's a lot of skeletons in that closet of that surname.
Shit's so funny.
Yeah. But yeah. So Ariana Grande, another lady, social climbs. She went from multiple dudes to get to whatever guy she's at. She's dating one dude in One Direction, and she went.
In the past. Niall.
One of those boy bands. I think it was One Direction. Yeah. That other boy band that was like opposite of One Direction at the same time. I forgot the name of them.
There's 5 Seconds of Summer.
But it was one of those boy bands. There was One Direction. There was another group that was out at the same time, and they were sort of in competition. But she went from that to freaking Big Sean to Mac Miller, Mac Miller over to
Pete Davidson.
Who's she with now?
And whoever else she's with now. Her body count is like,
it's over 9,000.
I don't know. I don't keep up with her, you know. So yeah, with ladies that do that, Mehgan Markle's or whatever, she was dating Piers Morgan at one point.
Oh.
That's why he's got such an issue with him.
With her?
With her, yeah. Because they were dating at one point before she went to Henry. But when I got to LA, everybody was talking about Mehgan Markle when I got to LA. Like, she had already had a reputation of dating multiple dudes. Amber Heard, or whatever, her co-star, and from the OC, he came out and was explaining how, like, he was talking to her and she was like, no, I don't want to date you. I'm actually dating a producer right now. I'm going to be a big star. Literally, hypergamy queens. That's the whole issue with women also being on dating apps. When they're on dating apps, they're all aiming for like the top 20 like guys on the dating apps. The top 20,
top 5.
Yeah, top 5% of men that are on dating apps. So you got all these women competing and disqualifying the majority of men. They said something like the percentage of like 80% of men on dating apps, women find completely unattractive. The other 20% is like kind of here or there.
Yeah.
Part of that is either due to a guy's maybe financial status. They're all looking to date a wealthy guy, or they're looking at a guy that's over a certain amount of height, like 6 feet, like me and Benda. We're
tall kings.
We don't want to talk about our body count.
We're tall kings
on these apps, but we're tall kings. So we're highly desirable chocolate drops. But yeah, so it's a lot of ladies that just they ignore your everyday guy, and so we get Kiwi guys that come up to us and talk to us for dating advice. Come 100%. To Benda, come to myself, and try to get feedback on like what to do. Yeah, what to do, what may not be working. Well, I've looked at a few guys' profiles and just critiqued them and told them like what things they should switch up on their profile, whatever.
And it's a lot of things that guys do have to do. Like almost
my profile on a dating app would just trigger ladies.
His bio would trigger.
It'll straight trigger ladies because I'm unbothered, but. I actually want people to find the love that they actually desire, and in order for that to happen, we have to tell these truths, and some of these truths are biological, and a lot of it is biological. It's still maintaining Eastern culture. They know about what works for men and women. But in our society where they're telling ladies to become a taxpayer and chase your career, you've lost sight of what matters, because now that you're making money, you can tend to only focus on your own self-gratification, hence, i.e. vacations and divorces, and thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. But you go.
Get off the stage. Welcome to America. Oh, wait a minute, she got a wedding ring on.
Oh no, I was just saying for men when they're asking these things, it's a lot, it's a big list, and I think like for girls they don't understand this. I think a lot of girls think, oh well, it's a big list for me. It's like not really though. If you compare what a guy needs to do, I tell guys it's like 8 different things, and it goes from their body to going to the gym, getting their financials ready for the future, making sure that they can entertain a woman in a type of way,
Be a provider,
being like it's so many things. When I talk to my girl mates, I just say make sure you look kind of hot. That's kind of the main thing of it. If you can look good, that you're 95% there.
I tell them more than that too.
Yeah, you tell them more, but I'm just saying you're 95% there.
Yeah,
just looking good.
Just off looks, yeah.
Just off looks. The thing is, for a guy, I can't just say that to a guy. I can't just say, yeah, look hot. No. That is not enough. That's not even. That won't even get you 50%.
We can look as slick as we want.
What? You can look like Henry fucking Cavill.
That doesn't equate at the end of the day.
You can look like Chris Evans, and because you're not Chris Evans, you will still be like.
Even if it is Chris Evans, some of these, the way social media has like inflated a lot of ladies' self-worth because of men being visual. So we see Instagram, we see you visual, and then we see you on dating apps, we see visual. Men will just swipe right or just want to message you just off how you appear, and it's inflated your self-worth. And so some of these women would see Chris Evans and still be like have an ego and be hubris and be like, oh,
if he wasn't
well, you still need to take me out to a restaurant. I'm a foodie. Could you take me out? You know?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, there's probably still a percentage of ladies that'll be like
completely delusional without them having anything to bring to the table.
And they're forgetting Chris Evans can have anyone, which is the
and still that delusion now because of dating, like social media, like these girls sometimes and ladies, they're not cognitive of these things.
And again, I think we did speak about this in one of our episodes, and I've done this before. I just asked like 5 girl mates, and I said, how many matches do you get on Tinder or Hinge or whatever the other dating websites are? And they tell me, I think the smallest was like 300. So they get to hundreds. Some of them have gone into thousands. When your counterpart's getting like 5 or 4, 5 or 4 that's not even 50%.
No, which is like watching the Tinder Swindler.
Oh my God, the Tinder Swindler was the best thing ever.
The best thing ever, because at the very beginning of the Tinder Swindler, it was this lady. He's like, yeah, I got 1,000 matches here, 1,500. But yeah, I saw this one guy and blah blah blah.
This one guy with a yacht. You didn't care about anything else, and you were sold.
Yeah, and you were
sold,
and they got screwed over. And I don't want to say I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it
and relished in it, but it's just like that's what you get for looking at a man as a fucking wallet.
No, I enjoyed it. I was like, you're an idiot. The fact that you just looked at you looked at 1,000 people.
Back your own medicine.
Yeah, you looked at 1,000 people, 1,000 men that you turned down, who potentially could have given you a better relationship, and you went, this is the one for me. Like, what the
The dude in glasses.
On a yacht.
On a yacht.
Every photo was, he's in a private jet. He's like, wow, that's so nice. You did not look at this guy. You saw what was behind him. He sold you everything every girl's dream.
That every girl's dream or whatever. So essentially what he did was he thirst trapped you. The same way
that girls thirst trap guys.
The same way girls thirst trap guys with these little ass photos and boob photos and they're going like, I actually don't do one night stands. You know, I know I'm showing my ass, but I don't
do this on the first
night.
night.
I didn't do this on the first night, and yeah.
I think for guys, we're gonna have to start thirst trapping. I'm gonna start getting guys to take photos in private jets.
No, that is what they're doing in Miami. And
really?
And Miami is rampant in Miami, like because the Fresh and Fit dudes are like advising all these guys, like, hey, like if you want to get a girl, switch up your dating profile. It's just like take a photo by boat, take a photo by car, wear your suits, you know, look clean, you know, clean up or whatever. If it's not, you know, naturally a part of their, you know, branding or whatever, if they're not a model, actor or whatever, it's not a natural part of their branding, they advise these guys to do these things to thirst trap and get these ladies' attention.
Wow.
And so these ladies will swipe right on it because it looks like adventure time. That looks like, I like experiences and he looks like he can bring me an adventure. You know, and so it gets these ladies caught on the hook of
that's what it takes.
The same BS that you purport on these dating apps of chasing hobbies and you wanting these men to take you on adventure. They go, okay, cool. We'll set it up like we will, but when you meet us, we're gonna take you to freaking McDonald's drive-through. And we're going to have a candlelit dinner there. You thought we were going to P.F. Chang's. And it was like, no, I'm taking to BK.
I think what's crazy is like how many...
It's a Whopper Jr. on us tonight. You know?
How many men do you think are multi-millionaires? Do you know? Like...
And it's delusional. If you check with some of these ladies on some of these panels, you ask them like, hey, what's the percentage of men that are above 6 feet globally? These women will be like, 30 or 40%?
No.
15%.
I've looked into it because I was curious.
15% are what me and Benda are in height.
Or above, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really not common.
Or in other lengths, you know. But yeah.
Dog.
Bang, bang.
In many countries, it's for here in New Zealand, 5'9" is the average. 5'8" point something. Yeah. Well, it's around there. Majority of the countries are like that. Yeah. So you're asking for something that there's not a big in abundance for.
Yeah, you're looking for tall, dark, and handsome, you know? I mean, we're here, but it's not an abundance of us, you know?
And that's the thing is you have to be so realistic. The same way I even tell guys, there aren't Victoria's Secret models waiting for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like, 20 Victoria's Secret models?
Yeah.
And there's 1 billion, maybe we'll just say 1 billion men. You think you can all just get the 20 girls? I'm like, no, come on, be realistic.
Yeah.
Find yourself a nice girl. Yeah. She doesn't need to be a Victoria's Secret model. Yeah. The same way I say to women is, guess what? That dude who has a yacht, that's just a dude that has a yacht. Yeah. But there's a guy who's starting out his plumbing business.
Yeah.
He's starting out a plumbing business.
And you're missing out on that opportunity to
help him.
Yeah, to be a compliment to his drive and ambition. Because
it might not be blown up, but he started something.
Yeah, he started something. So you got to look at those nuggets of like, whoa, he's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's presenting himself like he's going somewhere. He's well spoken.
Exactly.
He has a sense of direction.
Some ambition in his life.
He's got a sense of direction. So let me be an extra nurturer to his drive, and you can have a winning team.
Yeah.
And he'll have such admiration for you because you caught him at a time where it's very pure for him, where you saw him where he maybe didn't have the most, but you caught him at a very pure time.
He would definitely wouldn't have a lot of girls after.
And that's what makes the journey beautiful, you know, that's what makes somebody love you.
Yeah. 100%.
If you want to be loved, is you being able to want to add value to his vision and admire the fact that he even has a vision to want to do something great, you know, and you have synergy out of all of that. Sometimes you can find the guy that's like the complete package, ideally, but it will end in divorce at some point because it's like you both aren't necessarily satisfied with understanding that like he's gonna remember you got with him for these security reasons.
And most of those guys know.
You know? Yeah. And
they're not idiots. They know what they have attracts a lot of women. So the things you have to do have to be out of this world sometimes.
Yeah, you have to step your game up as well, you know? Like
He's not running low on hot girls wanting to marry him or get with him.
But part of stepping your game up is not trying to do what he does.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to come home and be in financial competition with you when he gets home. You know, he deals with that with other men on the job because men are naturally competitive with each other. You know, and it's not to say that we hate each other, but it's like we're all trying to be the best warrior to protect and provide. And now he's coming home to you wearing a tailored suit with a dick hole in it. And now you're trying to staunch up on him, you know, in a collared shirt with freaking you got freaking cufflinks on the edge of your shirt. And he's like, what am I dealing with? Like, you know, so you have to understand like your natural gifts as a lady, which you do know because you abuse it. You abuse your natural gifts as a lady on dating apps. You abuse your natural gifts as a lady on social media to thirst trap. So you know your femininity, but you just tend to abuse it. You need to know to not abuse your power and your femininity and social climb like these Kardashians and these freaking Meghan Merckles and Ariana Grandes and any of these.
The list goes on,
The
man.
list goes on of Amber Heards, of these ladies.
Even in your local countries.
That social climb.
That she's actually a nasty person behind the scenes who has been hell-bent on being famous, and she used a lot of black men in particular to get to where she is and then left them in the dust. Calls Ray J desperate and, you know, don't know what's going on with him, and now Kanye is crazy, and she's just completely promoted herself to be in the status that she is.
Ray, it's Kim. I just want you to know that I think you are so disgusting and desperate. Who leaves their email address on their machine? You clearly want people to call you, but yet you won't call me back. And actually, you know what? Don't call me back. Don't ever call me back. I never want to talk to you ever again. Sick and desperate. So leave me the alone and stop calling me. I hate you!
She knows deep down that her having the sex tape, the failed marriages, etc., she clowned herself and said, I can't keep a man. And she was crying about it after she left Kanye because she knows this is the end of the road, my friend. This is the end of the road. From this point forward, she does not have the sexual market value to be able to command a man that she necessarily wants. As a woman that, well, she's a billionaire now. She has kids already. She's a single mom. She's famous. She has status, etc. No guy on her level is going to want her and take her seriously. That's the most important part. Take her seriously. He'll want her for sexuality. He'll want her for the name. He'll want her maybe for some ulterior business motives, but he's not going to like her and love her idealistically like she fucking wants. It's not going to come because she comes with a past.
Yeah.
So now she's going to have to do one of two things. Be a sex object to the men that are at her level that she wants, or B,
settle for skeet,
or settle for guys that are lower than herself that she is not capable of necessarily respecting. And I'm telling y'all right now, Ski is just a rebound. She don't really fucking respect him like that.
She don't.
Okay? But this is what awaits a lot of women.
So let's talk about the Kim Kardashian tape. Talk about the whole story about how you obtained it and what actually happened afterwards.
Well, it was brought to us by a third party. Felt like the proper paperwork that we needed was in place. That came along with it. Now that ultimately wasn't the case, but we went out there and said, look, we feel comfortable releasing this movie. Ultimately, we were able to have a conversation with Kim after much back and forth and lots of legal stuff going on. But ultimately, she agreed to allow us to put out the tape. We paid her several $1 million. It was an amazing investment for us. And I think it worked out pretty good for her as well.
I've always said it, man. You know, fast money typically comes with slow problems.
Case in point, public figures, sometimes celebrities are not your best examples for how to lead your life, okay? Look at that as a cautionary tale. Learn from it.
Amen.
Learn from it. Do better by society.
Anyway, we out. Remember, thank you for tuning in. You guys are amazing. It's because of you. It's what we do because of you.
Exactly.
But stay ready for the next one.
What Benda said. Exactly. Stay ready for the next one, guys. Dudes Brewing. We out.
You